Hey there. Before we start this episode, I wanted to jump into your ears straight away and let you know how you can support us best with this podcast so we can keep this going. So, the most important thing that when you have listened to this episode would be share, share, share. Spread the word, drop our name, drop us in the conversation. If you see a question popping up somewhere, say, the Damn Parenting Ladies, they have an episode on this. Pop the episodes out, get us into the conversation of the communities. This is the best way to support Eva and me. And give us a like on Spotify, give us a follow, jump over to Instagram, Damn Parenting Podcast. Make sure that you spread the word about what you like, why you like the episodes, and that you spread the knowledge that we are putting out there so it can be heard and received by everyone who needs to hear this. And this is what I just wanted to drop with you before now you can enjoy them pet or an expert episode. So let's see what's going to be on.
Welcome back to another episode of Damn Parenting, your English-speaking parenting podcast from Amsterdam, the Netherlands. As always, we're your hosts, Eva.
Maren. Here we go.
Wow, I was really skimming it there. Well, today is Wednesday, and we are actually normally, this would have been our 50-second expert interview as it would be, but the person we had lined up, unfortunately, this is what it is in parenthood. Sometimes things happen and we're not going to be able to make it. And unfortunately, our person wasn't able to join us now, but will be doing something with us in the future when times align. Because at the end of the day, as parents, we have jobs, we have children, we have houses, we have lives, hopefully, out there that we're able to actually live. So instead, we thought today we we're going to delve back into our Instagram messages and pick out a couple of messages that have been sent to us. And we thought we'd read them out or have a discussion about whatever jumps out. So we just taken 3 topics. We thought we would just have a quick chat about them. And you know, you guys are always more than welcome to drop us messages in our Instagram feed, and we can always catch up with them as well and maybe discuss them in the future or find the person to discuss them with. So the first topic was
just one thing, that if we have not picked up the topic you have sent us, if we don't pick it up today, be sure it's on our list, so we will address it. But some of the topics were a little bigger where we really thought, okay, let's get an expert on that. We're still working on this. One of them was, how do we deal with all of this being a single parent? And we thought, as both Eva and I are not qualified to speak on that topic, we really wanted to get someone in to dive a little deeper on that. So whoever sent this to us out there, you are not alone. We are working on it. So we have picked some other topics that we thought we can address in this little chat today. And what are the topics that we picked, Eva?
Well, the first one we're actually going to discuss here is about a message that was sent to us. And they were basically just saying that I wanted to reach out about one topic I find so overwhelming at this stage. They're pregnant, is what to get for baby with all the physical planning. There's so many lists that are out there. And when I ask my mother or mother-in-laws, all they can advise is don't buy anything invented after the 1980s. It does go on to say friends can be a good advice too, but they can contradict each other as well. I did message this person back. I said, this could be a bias as well. And so myself and Maren have now discussed it, and we kind of thought, okay, let's eliminate our bias as best we can and really just get down to the core. So what was our core that we discussed, Maren?
So we actually said, don't buy too much, don't go too crazy, because you don't know what your needs will be and you don't really know exactly what the baby's needs will be. So get some essentials that we will name in a second, but don't get the full array of things. Like, don't get, one example is, you don't need to go out and buy a baby carrier right now, because first of all, you don't know what carrier, and we have had an episode with Zayania on that. You can go back and listen to that, what different carriers are out there. And then I guess when you have your baby, you get the baby and then you see what works for you. So if you are hesitant and not sure which one to buy, just wait a little and see if this is, first of all, something that you want to do. And second of all, how do you want to carry your baby? Getting a pram or stroller, also ask yourself the question, is this something handy for me? Can I navigate this in my apartment? Is this something, where do I park the stroller? What is the street in front of my house look like? Like, is this something that's practical? Am I with public transport often? Am I with the bike? Like, what kind of stroller? Do I need a full big one, or do I need more like a light travel one that I can pop in the back seats when I'm driving around, or I can, worst case, carry with one hand up the stairs if I don't have a space to park it downstairs. So these are little things to think about. What does really suit my lifestyle? What does really suit my situation? So see what options are out there, and also maybe try secondhand, because those strollers, they can be coming with a hefty price
Very
tag
expensive.
if you look at the popular brands. But yeah, so first of all, see, do I really need a full deck out, or am I fine with the travel one? One thing that we thought was handy or not handy, but one very important thing which concerns safety is get a car seat, even if you don't have a car. And if you plan having a home birth, you don't know what's going to happen, and they will not let you leave the hospital without a car seat for the baby. So get one. I got one on a Facebook group for like, I don't know, 10 euros, which was still was still up for the safety standards. But I knew, all right, I'm just going to have it here. I don't know how am I going to use it. So this is one thing. Get a car seat. Again, if you have a car and really need like a proper one that's being used every day, then of course look into these. Otherwise, go on the groups and see what's out there. But ask, are they still up to the safety standards? How have they been in any kind of crash? Have they fallen on the floor? Like, ask these questions and then go from there. Another thing that we thought was handy was a co-sleeper, if you use them or not, but just because some parents say, oh, it's a nice clothing rack, or it's a good tray for my glasses and my snacks in my bed.
Or the cat's new bed.
Well, the cat's new bed. And see also if you really need like a full deck out co-sleeper. If you don't want to get a co-sleeper, but you're also not sure about another separate bed, one thing that I have used a lot is a little nest that you can pop into the bed if you don't feel comfortable having the baby without anything between you or anything in the bed. And this nest is something that still gives a little boundaries, still also alerts you that there is something that's in the bed, and also is a good thing to have in the living room where you can lay the baby down safely. One that we really liked was the Snuggle Me, because it really, like the name says, snuggles the baby in. And these little nests, from whatever brand they come, these are a handy thing to have, because you can also take them with you or throw them on the kitchen ground, and then you can lay the baby down there. One thing that I found handy when it comes to, so these are like the bigger purchases, so the stroller, a co-sleeper, or a nest or something like that. And then what I found handy, we got a little baby bath, if this is something that you want to invest in, or one of these like baby bucket kind of things. And we had one that you could actually fold, so we could snug it between like the bathtub and the drawer. So look what's available there. And then I bought a special baby towel that has a snap in the neck that you can attach to your body, so you have your hands free, you can snuggle the baby in. And then I just had a very big bottle of almond oil and a big bag of cotton bud and a thermometer, and that was it. Because this is really what your baby needs in the beginning, just some good almond oil. You can clean everything with this. You can give massages with this. It doesn't have a scent. So this was the to-go thing. Like everywhere I had this for whatever I needed it. I put it on my hands. I put it on my body. So that was a good thing. Then, yeah, the thermometer, because you'll be using this quite a bit in the beginning. What else do I have on my list? Oh yeah, ask yourself the question, do I want to work with diapers, or do I want to do like the whole free, I don't know the English word, I just know the German word for it, but like you have this little bucket and you hold the baby over it and you basically follow their leads, this like diaper free way. If you want to do that, read into that. If you want to do diapers, do you want to do cloth diapers? Are you aware of the load that comes with that? Or do you want to use just single-use diapers? And then of course there's like an endless array of, don't get too many, maybe get what I got. I got, I think 3 different brands, 1 pack each. And then I was just trying out which one works for us. Is there any rashes that the baby gets from one brand? Because you never know. Like I said, it's like a black box with that baby. When it's there, this is kind of when you then try stuff out and what works. Get minimal clothing. I would say invest in good clothing rather than a lot of clothing. So I am a big advocate for wool silk, which is applicable for any season that your baby is in, summer, winter. If you do have a winter baby, then you can also go straight for the straight wool ones. But if you have any other season baby, then wool silk is a great combo because it both cools and heats the baby when needed. It doesn't get as wet as cotton. So when cotton gets wet and when they sweat, it dries a lot slower. So it can get cold and cools the baby down too much. So wool silk is a good thing. You can get them secondhand. Siggy and Lucy has a big array because I've been bringing all my stuff there, and other parents as well. These are a little more pricey, but that's because you don't need so many. You just buy 3 maybe, and you don't have to wash them so much. You can just air them out. So that's the thing for that. Also, these babies grow so fast in the beginning. So this is really something. Get 3 rompers, maybe get 2 in the smallest size and 1 in the size already bigger, because again, you don't know. Of course, they give you estimates. Oh, this is how big the baby is. But then when the baby's out there, sometimes surprises. Oh, it's actually a lot bigger or a lot smaller than we thought. So just be aware of that. What else? What else do we need?
From my side, I would just also say that I would invest in some books, just to have a couple of books, because it's going to be nice to reach your child, because that's going to start up a great future that you guys are going to have. But when we look at toys, personally, I wouldn't say ask for any toys or go and buy any toys, because honestly, that baby is going to be an infant just for a month. They're going to be sleeping most of the time. And for the rest of the time, just looking at you is going to be quite a lot anyway. The only thing I did do was I did have black and white t-shirts, which had certain like lines or stripes or spots or something like that, because that was just something for them to look at. So I wouldn't immediately start asking for those subscriptions or those famous, collections of toys for babies in age groups. The only thing that you will be focusing on is tummy time. And there's a variety of different ways you can do that. You can actually even just do that on yourself as well. But that'll be for later on. This whole question for us was really, we were just trying to say, you don't need a lot. And when you do need something, you can go and get it. Myself and Maren gave birth during COVID. And so we kind of had to prepare quite in advance and know everything, because we were quite panicked, because you never know what stores were even still open back then in those days. So now you have the availability, you have the chance. So don't buy too much is basically what we just wanted to say for this episode. The car seat is imperative. That is the number one thing you really have to have. And then for the rest of it, just decide where your baby's going to sleep. Don't rely on anything and don't rush into anything. But do try any big purchases before you buy them, of course. So anyway.
With the toys, we will also do a full episode on the mental load of what it comes with when we don't go into the whole topic of toys. So we have that on our radar. But for now, and also really take that time to get to know your baby in the beginning. The only thing they really need is you. And also the only thing that you have capacity to really be with is your baby. So don't worry about all this distraction, all this stuff from outside. Like really spend the time to be with your baby in bed and spend as much connection time as possible.
So that was a little bit longer than we anticipated, but I mean, that's the truth, is just a case of keep it minimal, because it's minimal for you, and just give yourself that space, because it's also a visual cluttering in your space as well. So if you keep everything minimal, you don't have to have the beige baby effect, but just keep it minimal for yourself. The second topic we wanted to reach out to you from messages that we've received on Instagram was about some anxiety discussions we've had. Most recently, we had Erin on from Today I Was Asked, and we've had quite a lot of people kind of responding saying, this is how I feel, and it's not a case of I don't feel allowed. It's a case of I don't feel anyone else feels this way. And some people are kind of having this thing of I just feel so alone in this, because people don't talk about it. And you see other moms like going around with their kids, or they're in the sandpit, or they're in the play area, and everything looks fine, but you're sitting in your own anxiety and constantly questioning everything that's happening. So we've been really pleased to see so many people reaching out saying that they've really enjoyed hearing us openly discuss, well, I think it was actually mainly me discuss my anxiety issues, I guess it would be, but it was also hearing Erin as well talking about the anxiety episode in itself. So you are not alone, but if there is something specific with anxiety you really want us to touch on, please do reach out to us, because we're more than happy, because this is affecting many people out there.
Tapping into the whole topic of anxiety is, and I'm glad that it's coming more and more into the discussion. There's actually a really, really good movie about this whole topic, Mother's Instinct, which I'm not a fan of the name because this is a whole topic of itself, but there's very heavily featured the topic of anxiety and how it sparks when you become a parent and this movie portrays it in a very extreme way. However, this is one extreme of the spectrum, how anxiety plays out. And it's good that these things are addressed. I wish they would be addressed really more with the connection that this is what mothers go through, this is what parents go through, and this is what's happening, and really putting the labels on it so people can identify it. But yeah, I am glad that these topics are more and more coming into the public eye and being picked up, and also show like this is how it looks like, this is how it plays out, these are the thoughts that the character has, these are the things that they might say, these are the actions, this is how it plays out. So for us to recognize it or to acknowledge it even, yeah, this whole anxiety topic is, and especially if you are a person who has not been dealing with too much anxiety in your life, if you are blessed with that, and then all of a sudden you feel that big change, and then you think, where's this coming from all of a sudden? Like, what's going on? What am I doing wrong? If you have this harsh switch from now you're a parent and all this comes flooding to you, you're not alone. And there's several degrees of anxiety. And if it is something that you feel you can't manage alone and you really are struggling with it, and it's keeping you from enjoying your child, from enjoying the role you're in, from enjoying your life, then this is the point where you should be reaching out for help. There's lots of resources we have put together in our episodes, a lot of people who deal with this topic. You can always reach out to Dr. Naomi, who is a resident psychologist here. So take this seriously, especially if you feel, looking back a couple of weeks, a couple of months, if you feel it has built up, then this is definitely a sign that there is something that needs to be addressed, and you're not alone with it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think the last thing we're just going to touch on is actually something that has been sent to us, which was actually a very heartwarming, I guess, message for us to read. They said that the podcast is informative, but it's also empowering. The way that they were explaining it was more or less going about how we are bringing the Dutch medical system through English. So people are now not just having to ask other people, what did they go through or what happened to you, to get the information of what are options, but they're actually hearing the facts, which is the big thing about this podcast. Is we really wanted to get the Dutch medical system in English so people really know what it is out there. But it's also the fact that this is giving the landscape, it's giving the knowledge, it's giving you the options. It's also giving you people that you can reach out to. And that's the whole emphasis of Damn Parenting Podcast, was to actually provide this. It's not a platform of opinions. It's not a platform of sharing stories this way, like just to kind of give their 2 cents of something that happened to them. But it's just
also
really
not a platform. We're also not just here to promote businesses, like we really pick the people that we pick. Why do we bring them on to talk about the topic? Because they are the experts in the field. And at the same time, they also offer their services. So this is really important for Eva and I, that you never have the impression that, oh, they just want to feature businesses. That's not the goal. And so this message really touched my heart, because we say, and this is like what we say, the first thing, like this is something for information that people can come to, and feel empowered through this, but also feel empowered generally through the podcast. But I don't really say this out loud because I think this goes with the subtitle. But then it was just so nice for me to hear that this message is going out there, and people, beside the information that they get, they really feel personally empowered. They feel, I've got this, I got the information. When you have information, you already feel more empowered, because you already feel like you know something. You can make an educated decision, or you know what questions to ask, because this is also sometimes the thing that you are faced with a topic and you don't even know what questions am I supposed to ask. So that really touched my heart when this listener reached out and said, I feel empowered because this is what we want. We want to make people feel like they got this. They're not alone, and they can feel the load, and they can feel it's hard, and we got their back. So this was really, really nice. And I hope for other listeners that feeling also sparked, that they feel this is a resource that they can turn to for information, but also when they're having a low day, or also when they're feeling like, oh, I just don't got this. Like I'm struggling. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I'm doing this right. We have so many episodes where you can just pop the episode in and just listen to us talk about these topics. And then maybe this is picking you up from a place where you're not comfortable right now.
Yeah. And that's going to be daily, usually, as a parent with sleep deprivation, completely engulfed in the sleep deprivation era of new parenthood, and equally engulfed in general parenthood when you may be having 3 or 4 kids, or you may be trying to work whilst actually running a household, whilst trying to have children, there's a lot. And the reality is we're just sharing our stories, we're sharing our realities, and we're sharing our truth, I guess it is. These are the voices of your village. This is your community. And we really hope that if you have any topic that you feel you really want addressed and discussed, you can always drop us a message and let us try and figure out how we can actually help you with that.
And if you want to help us, then as we are sharing this knowledge very happily with you, please make sure that you share the episodes with your friends, with your family, for anyone who this might be interesting and they can gain some knowledge, empowerment, or whatever you think they need from that. Make sure you spread the word about the podcast in your WhatsApp groups, in your Facebook groups, in your personal conversations with your friends. Give us 5 stars on Spotify so we get seen by other people who are not in your bubble, but maybe in another bubble, searching for some help out there. You can subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and we also have a very informative Instagram account, Damn Parenting Podcast, where we, for all the expert episode, always have a little cheat sheet for you with the most important facts of this episode. We cover all the guests that are coming on. We put out extra information. We put out information about workshops or events that are going on in the community. So this is always a good place to connect with the community and also connect with other people that have listened to this episode or listened to the podcast. And this is how you can support us. So we will hear you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.